To dissimulate is to pretend not to have what one has. To simulate is to feign to have what one doesn't have. One implies a presence, the other an absence. But it is more complicated than that because simulating is not pretending.
What's your girlfriend's name again?
Whoever simulates an illness produces in himself some of the symptoms.
Lucy. Lucy.
Therefore, pretending or dissimulating leaves the principle of reality intact.
That's a nice name.
The difference is always clear.
The very voice of God.
It is simply masked, whereas simulation threatens the difference between the true and the false, the real and the imaginary.
Bet she's fucked plenty of blokes before you.
What do you care? It's none of your business.
Is the simulator sick or not, given that he produces true symptoms?
Believe me.
Objectively, one cannot treat him either as being ill or not ill.
What the hell's that?
Psychology and medicine stop at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. How are Arsenal doing?
Forestalled by the illness's henceforth undiscoverable truth. For if any symptom can be produced, and can no longer be taken as a fact of nature, then every illness can be considered as simulatable and simulated, and medicine loses its meaning, since it only knows how to treat real illnesses according to their objective causes.
For call you this keeping for a gentleman of my birth, that differs not from the stall of an ox?
Well, this fooling about can be a bit dangerous.
Is that not enough for you?
For your poor, tiny brain to grasp.
No, don't move.
She writes letters back. Letters in which she doesn't mention me either, because I'm just a dirty word to her too! No, you're not! I have to stop them.
Even the book review seems to be the same as last week's.
Do you know anything about that?
Different books, same reviews. You know, I've just read 3 whole columns on the English novel. Half of it was in French.
What kind of world is this?
Did you know that Webster played the banjo?
She has to believe me.
Nothing
I wish you were here.
Blimey, you ought to be Prime Minister.
An act that is wrong.
Just you listen to your dad. No, you can't.
Figure it out.
I've seen him discussing sex as if with the art of fugue.
They're going to hurt people, James.
They all sit round feeling very spiritual with their mental hands on each other's knees.
And I have to stop them.
Did you read Creasy's piece this week?
Look, I'm just going to say it because it sounds crazy, but...
Anyone who doesn't like real jazz hasn't any feeling either for music or people.
And they're planning something.
This monument to non-attachment.
Bringing destruction and death.
Pain and suffering.
The working classes.
Did you know that?
Takes some doing nowadays. It really does. But they knew all about character building at Nigel's school. And he'll make it alright. Once more, he'll make it better than anybody else.
Can't anybody see?
You're right. But do you know something? Years of living in the same room with the same person that made me predatory and suspicious. I couldn't stand it any longer. And took another step forward. I knew it was a fool thing to do. I shouldn't get out of the sun by moving on a yard or so. But I took that step. Just one step forward. And then the Arab drew his knife and held it towards me, athwart the sunlight.
Do you realise what you've just done?
Ignorance.
If it wasn't for that damn cat, I wouldn't be in here now.
Strange to know nothing.
No.
This is it, Adam, that grieves me so.
Never to be sure of what is true or right or real.
But I had 5 cats.
But forced to qualify. Or so I feel.
We was having some differences.
Destruction and death.
I rounded them off.
I need your help.
God, she wants peace.
Well, it does seem so.
My heart is so full, I
Someone
feel
must
ill.
know.
She wants...
I can't figure it out.
Strange to be ignorant of the way things work.
I
Well,
rang.
boy, oh boy,
Shut the hell up,
oh
everyone.
boy. What a record they were making. Running around the backyard, burning and howling.
A shaft of
Even
light
to
shot
wear
upwards
such
from the
knowledge.
steel. for our flesh surrounds us with its own decisions.
My brother Jaquis he keeps at school, but Paul speaks goldenly of his prophet.
And yet spend all our lives on imprecision.
She totally freaks out. See, I figured I'd wait a couple of hours till the cats were dead.
Yes, it is strange that when we start to die, have no idea why.
Then I'd go up to the house, I'd knock on the door, and I'd say,
those fucking
cats
cats
runs
runs
in the house.
about unresolved
In a few minutes,
conflicts.
the bleeding house was on
I
fire.
felt as if a long,
Within half
thin
an hour,
blade
there was no
transfixed
front
my
door to
forehead.
knock on. If it wasn't for that damn
At the
cat,
same
I wouldn't
moment,
be in here now.
All the sweat that had accumulated in my eyebrows splashed down on my eyelids, covering them with a warm film of moisture.
It's wrong. I can't figure it out, but I need you.
I was conscious only of the symbols of the sun clashing on my skull, but I fired 4 shots more into that inert body, on which they left no visible trace. And each successive shot
She's so clumsy.
was another loud, fateful rap
Don't patronise me.
on the door of my undoing.
The way she jumps on the bed, as if she was stamping on someone's face, and draws the curtains back in that casually destructive manner of hers with a great clatter. Unkept.
Did you ever meet her brother? Brother Nigel. The straight-backed, chinless, wonderful Santa.
His horses are bred better.
Well,
Anybody who hasn't watched somebody die is suffering from a pretty bad case. Growth. Gain nothing under him but...
it's a big chap. Of course not.
Oh, yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.